In the heart of Mushin, Lagos, two inseparable friends, Zara and Tamara, grew up as sisters in every sense but blood. Their bond was forged in childhood, walking to school barefoot, sharing meals, and crying over exam results together. From Ilupiju Primary to the University of Lagos, they were each other's lifeline, always promising to escape poverty and make it big. After graduation with no job offers in sight, they returned to Mushin, defeated. Tamara was the louder of the two, with a fire that burned brightly and refused to be extinguished. Zara, this life is a scam. We went through school for what? To come back and rot here? She ranted daily, pacing their one-room apartment. Zara, ever the calm one, would hold her hand and whisper, God's timing is perfect. Just give it time. But Tamara's patience had worn thin. One morning, Zara woke up to an empty room. Tamara was gone, no note, no message. Days turned into weeks, and silence stretched endlessly. No one had seen or heard from her. Zara searched frantically, even traveling to neighboring towns, but it was as if Tamara had vanished into the wind. She was devastated. Her other half, her sister, had disappeared without a trace. It was 7 months later when Zara heard a knock on the door while sweeping their compound. She opened it and froze. Standing there was Tamara, pale, weak, and heavily pregnant, her eyes sunken and her lips trembling. Her once radiant skin had darkened, and she looked like a ghost of the girl Zara had grown up with. Tamara, Zara whispered, rushing to hold her. Where have you been? What happened? Tamara didn't answer. She merely whispered, I'm sorry, before collapsing into Zara's arms. Zara helped her to the mattress inside, gave her water, and wrapped her in a wrapper. We'll talk later. Just rest, she said, brushing her friend's hair gently. That night, Zara sat beside her, watching her breathe. She wanted to ask a million questions but didn't have the heart. By dawn, Tamara screamed. Zara jumped up. Labor had started. Panic surged through her as she sprinted through the muddy paths to fetch Mama Didi, the midwife. What foolishness is this? This early? Mama Didi barked but followed anyway. By the time they returned, Tamara had given birth twins, a boy and a girl. She was soaked in sweat, barely able to speak. Zara, I'm dying, I feel it, she choked out. Zara gripped her hand, crying, No, don't say that. But Tamara just smiled weakly. Please take care of them, like you did me. Promise me, Zara. I promise, she sobbed. And with that, Tamara took her last breath. Tamara's burial was cold. Her father spat beside her grave. Let her rot. She disgraced us, he said without emotion. Her mother stood silently, eyes averted, refusing to look at the children. Zara held the twins close, tears streaming down her face. They're your grandchildren, she pleaded. They are bastards, her mother snapped. We only came to bury her so tongues wouldn't wag. The family walked away, leaving Zara alone. Back at home, Zara stared at the babies. The boy whimpered. The girl stretched and yawned. Tristan and Talia, she whispered. That's your names now. Her fiancé, Louis, returned from a work trip that night. She told him everything, expecting the worst. But he held her hand and said, We'll raise them together. Zara wept in relief. But love can change. Weeks turned into months and gossip crept into their home. People are laughing at me, Louis said one night. They call me a fool for raising someone else's children. Zara tried to reason, but he stood his ground. It's either me or them. And with that, he packed her clothes and threw them outside. In the dark, with Tristan tied to her back and Talia in her arms, Zara walked into the unknown. Zara walked the dimly lit streets of Lagos with no destination, her entire life stuffed in a worn nylon bag. The twins were restless, crying softly in turns. She begged for shelter, but every door was shut either out of fear or pride. Eventually, she stumbled upon an abandoned kiosk near a shoddy market. It was dusty and half collapsed, but it was dry and had a roof. That night, she spread 2 wrappers on the wooden floor and laid the babies down. Rain fell heavily outside, but she just sat by their side, watching them sleep. Her mind replayed memories of Tamara, how they used to laugh about living in Banana Island, or marrying rich men. That dream had evaporated. A message lit up her phone. It was Sharon, one of Tamara's old friends. She had finally replied, "You can come to my place tomorrow." Zara sighed. There was a flicker of hope. The next morning, with the baby strapped to her back and chest, she crossed to the market and begged for a bowl of pap. After feeding the children, she found Sharon's house in Surulere, a massive duplex with glass doors and tiled floors. "You're lucky," Sharon said, eyeing the twins. "These kids, they're your golden ticket. There are people who'll pay millions for babies like this." Zara froze. "You want me to sell them?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Don't be stupid," Sharon scoffed. "It's business." Zara rose to her feet. "If this is what you call help, I was better off in the streets." She walked out holding her children tighter than ever. By noon, the babies were hungry again. Zara stood under the hot sun, staring at the crowd of people walking past her. Her phone buzzed low battery. She spotted a roadside phone vendor and walked over. "Can you buy this phone?" she asked. The young man examined it. "Old model. I'll give you 1,500 naira." It was her only option. She accepted. With the money, she bought milk, diapers, and bottled water. That night, back at the kiosk, she fed and cleaned the babies. As they slept, she counted what was left, 500 naira, just enough to buy tomatoes the next morning. If she couldn't beg, she would sell. At dawn, she bought a small bowl of tomatoes, spread them on a tray, and began hawking around the market. She quickly became known as the Tomato Woman with Twins. Some admired her courage. Others mocked her. "Loose girl. See where opening her legs got her," one woman whispered. But Zara held her head high. Each day she sold, she bought more stock. She began saving, little by little. With help from a kind plantain seller, she secured a spot near the entrance where more people could see her. It wasn't much, but it was honest. And it was hers. One scorching afternoon, Zara was hawking tomatoes when she saw a commotion nearby. A taxi driver was shouting at an old man. "Pay me my 500 naira or I'll beat you," he roared. The elderly man trembled. "My wallet was stolen in the bus," he pleaded. Before the driver could strike him, Zara stepped in. "He's old enough to be your father. Show some respect," the driver sneered. "Mind your business." "How much?" she asked. 500 naira. Zara untied the knot on her wrapper and handed him the last note she had. The driver grunted, smashed her tomatoes to the ground in anger, and stormed off. The old man bent down beside her. "I'm sorry about your tomatoes," he said. "Let me help." Together they picked the ones that weren't crushed. "Do you live nearby?" she asked. "Yes, not far from here." He walked with a limp, so she offered to help him home. His name was Baba Joe, and he lived alone in a small one-room apartment. "You're too kind," he said once they got inside. Zara smiled. "I only did the right thing." Just then, the twins began to cry. "They must be hungry. Let me go feed them," she said. But Baba Joe stopped her. "Sit. Let me give you something." He brought out a plate of mashed potatoes and tomato sauce. Zara hesitated, then accepted. As she fed her babies, the rain began to pour heavily. "My kiosk," she murmured in worry. "It's probably flooded." Baba Joe touched her shoulder. "Then stay here. Bring the children. I get lonely anyway." Zara's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" He nodded. And just like that, a stranger became family. Baba Joe kept his word. He gave Zara and the twins a place to stay, and even handed her an old market stall he hadn't used in years. With a small loan from his pension and her hard work, Zara began a puff-puff business. Word spread about the woman who fried the best puff-puff in Surulere while carrying twins on her back. People stopped not just for the snacks, but to hear the sweet voices of Tristan and Talia. As they grew, the twins revealed a special gift. They could sing in harmony like angels. Customers would tip them while they sang, their sweet melodies echoing across the market stalls. Despite the poverty, Zara ensured they never missed school. Tristan fetched water and carried loads after class, while Talia helped package snacks. They never complained. Years passed, and the twins grew into smart, respectful teenagers. They called Baba Joe Grandpa and treated him like blood. Zara sometimes watched them and wept tears of gratitude. They were her biggest blessing. One evening, just as they were about to leave for church choir rehearsals, a black SUV pulled up in front of the apartment. A woman stepped out, elegant and composed. "Good evening. Are you Miss Zara, mother of Tristan and Talia?" Zara blinked. "Yes. How can I help you?" The woman smiled. "My name is Belinda. I'm a talent manager from the U.S. A video of your children singing went viral. I'd like to help them achieve their dreams." Zara couldn't believe it. Belinda showed her the video Tristan and Talia singing at the market. Over 5 million views. Comments praising their voices flooded the screen. The twins jumped up with joy, hugging each other and then their mother. Belinda handed Zara her card. "Verify my credentials. I'm serious about taking them international." That night, Zara didn't sleep. She sat in the living room with a racing heart. "I'm scared," she admitted to Baba Joe. "What if they forget me? What if something happens to them?" He placed a hand on hers. "They're responsible, and they love you. Let them soar." The next morning, Tristan and Talia hugged their mother tightly. "If it makes you sad, we won't go," Tristan said gently. "No, my darlings, fly. I'll always be here," Zara replied, forcing a smile. They nodded, wiping her tears. A week later, Belinda returned and drove them to the airport. Zara waved until the SUV disappeared from sight. The days turned into months. They called often, excited about rehearsals, interviews, and school abroad. But then, the calls stopped. Zara tried reaching them for weeks. No response. She even contacted Belinda, but her number was inactive. Then came the worst blow. Baba Joe fell sick and was hospitalized. When Zara arrived with food, she was told he had passed and his son had taken his body away. Alone and grief-stricken, she wandered the city with no answers and nowhere to go. Zara was evicted by Baba Joe's son, George, who arrived like a storm with legal documents. "This house and the stall belong to my father. Since he's dead, I'm selling everything," he said. Zara begged him, but George only smiled. "There's a way I could help, just be nice to me." Zara's stomach churned. "I'm not that kind of woman," she replied, trembling. George's eyes turned cold. "Then get out." Homeless again, Zara walked aimlessly until she reached a quiet old church. There, she clutched a framed photo of her and the twins and cried silently. It became her home. By day, she begged for food. By night, she slept on the veranda. One morning, a kind church volunteer named Joan found her unconscious. She had slipped into a coma due to exposure and hunger. The church rushed her to the hospital, but there was no one to speak for her. Joan, desperate, made a viral video pleading for help for the mystery woman. She posted Zara's photo and story, hoping someone would recognize her. Meanwhile, in Ikoyi, 3 SUVs drove into a quiet street. Out stepped Tristan and Talia, now famous, dressed in designer suits. "Why is the house locked?" Talia asked. A neighbor recognized them and told them everything: Baba Joe's death, Zara's eviction, and her disappearance. Someone handed Tristan a phone showing Joan's video. Their mother was dying, and they had no idea. They rushed to the hospital. "Mom!" Talia cried, falling to her knees beside Zara's bed. Tristan clenched his fists. "We trusted Belinda. She took our phones and money. We only just escaped." Zara didn't move. The doctor shook his head. "She needs urgent treatment." Tristan turned to him, voice shaking. "Then save her. Whatever it costs, we'll pay." Money flowed in. Doctors worked through the night. By dawn, Zara stirred. Her eyes opened slowly. When she saw her children, her lips trembled into a smile. Talia and Tristan embraced her, weeping. "We're sorry, Mom. We didn't know what happened." Over the next week, Zara recovered. The twins told her everything: how Belinda had vanished with their earnings until the police caught her. Zara shared her own story, sparing them the worst details. They took her home, but not to the kiosk. "Where are we going?" Zara asked. They led her into a white mansion with marble floors and a waterfall in the backyard. "This is your house now, Mom," Tristan said. They handed her documents, 4 houses in her name. Zara wept uncontrollably. "You are my biggest blessing." Days later, they visited Baba Joe's grave together. "Thank you," she whispered to the wind. Just then, a call came. "We need to talk about my grandchildren," said a familiar voice to Tamara's mother. Zara smiled bitterly. "You lost that right the day you buried your daughter without a shred of love." She blocked the number. As she turned around, Tristan and Talia stood behind her. "Mom, was that her?" Zara nodded. "There's more I need to tell you," she said. "We already know," Tristan replied softly, "and it doesn't change anything. You're our only mother." Tears streamed down Zara's face. The journey had been long and bitter, but this moment, this love was worth it all. Again, the end. What are your thoughts on this powerful story of friendship, sacrifice, and unconditional love? Did Zara's journey move you the way it moved us? We'd love to hear your take in the comments. What lessons stood out the most? If this story touched your heart, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching. And remember, family isn't always about blood. Sometimes it's about who shows up when everyone else walks away. Stay blessed.